welcome to ALW Collectibles. Today we're going to be jumping back into the world of professional wrestling. This time I'm going to be taking a look at one of my favorite tag team title belts of all time. This is the NWA United States Tag Team Championships. This is the Jim Crockett Global version. And I'll get into that explanation in a few seconds. But here they are. And to me, these were always some of my favorite belt designs. I always thought they looked really cool. Glare in here today is a little high, but not that bad. And I'm doing both belts because you can see they are the exact same title belt. They're just two. Yeah, really fond memories of these belts all the way back to the 80s from when I was a kid. And we're going to get into a little side note for me of the one person who actually inspired me into becoming a belt enthusiast and a belt collector in a few seconds. But having said that, beautiful looking title belts. You know, you got the United States on it, USA. You got some nice artwork designs. The banners I love. And these belts are not fully complete because normally these banners are done red, white, and blue. These, of course, are internet knockoffs. I'm always upfront and honest about that. These are not official licensed replicas, but still, good quality, beautiful looking championship belts, and I can't say enough about them. The history behind these belts is very lengthy, but we're going to try doing a little condensed version. But having said that, like I said, looking at the main plate, you got the 5 stars here, 5 stars here, 5 more stars right up here. So you got 15 stars just on the main plate. Small stars. And then you got the north, west, south, a directional cross, and 2 more. So quite a bit. And then there's 2 more down here and 2 more down here. So beautiful looking belt. Side plates, you got the US flag. This design is going to come in important in a few seconds. And the back plate, you got 2 sets of tag team wrestlers going at it. And the back of these are just black strap. This is a, of course, 1 millimeter, not 1, wow, 3 millimeter strap with a 2 millimeter plate on these. Little history on the belts. These belts were the updated version of the NWA Mid-Atlantic titles. And the plates, the main plate for that belt was actually this right here. Just minus the wrestlers. This was the layout. It said US Champion and had all the wordings on this flag. So they incorporated the original design into this belt, which I thought was a nice touch. These are the global versions from Jim Crockett's NWA, which was from 1986 to 1991. These were considered the NWA United States Tag Team Championship belts. And these Pacific title belt designs were won by Crusher Khrushchev and Ivan Koloff on September 6th, 1986. And yeah, a lot of great men held these belts. Flying Brian Pillman, Barry Windham, Rugged Ronnie Garvin, Beautiful Bobby Eaton, Stan Lane, Rick and Scott, the Steiner brothers, the Patriots, Firebreaker Chip, and I draw a blank on the other name now. Todd Champion was the other one. A lot of great men held these championship belts. We also have, you know, in 1991, of course, WCW came around. Jim Crockett sold the company to Ted Turner, which brought WCW up, and these were rebranded. Exact same belts, no changes, still carrying the NWA logo, to World Championship Wrestling. And at the time, the Steiner brothers were the champions of record. So they were considered the first WCW US Tag Team Champions. After that, the belt lasted little over a year, because it was in January of 91, and these belts were officially retired for the first time on July 31st, 1992, when the Barbarian and Dirty Dick Slater defeated the Freebirds for these titles. They have been reactivated in the current version of the NWA, owned by Billy Corgan, with the older design again. But again, a lot of history behind these belts. As I was saying, there was a guy, the manager for the Midnight Express. The man, Jim Cornette, is the man who gave me my love and passion for the belts. Because watching him cram these belts down to people's throats, saying that his team was number one, and just the way he always showcased the titles. He never put them secondary. He always let people front and center, and it kind of drew me into them. So that's where part of my love for my wrestling and part of the love that I have for championship belts come from, was watching him. And on a side note for him, when I was a kid, he did his job perfectly. I hated the man. Growing up, knowing what I know now, I had nothing but respect for him. But having said that, again, beautiful looking championship belts. I can't say enough about this design. I like the etching all around the side of the plates. And the only modifications, they did use the one with no red, white, and blue, and they've had red, white, and blue in this ribbon here. I love the red USA. You got Hawaii here. And I love how the banner comes down, loops, and then loops back around the banner. Again, the plate, I'm sorry. Comes up, loops around the edge, and comes back around the plate. You know, there's a lot going on the plate, but it's not overwhelming. Same thing with the side plates. Now, speaking to tradition, I'm sorry. How they incorporated the old title design on there, I just give the credit. I don't know exactly who designed the belts. I wasn't able to get a definitive on that. I believe it was Reggie Parks who designed these belts, but I'm not positive, so I don't want to go on record as saying 100% I know he did it. I wasn't exactly able to find that information, so I'm just going to leave that to everybody's imagination. Having said that, yeah, I'm really excited to be able to showcase these belts. I think they look phenomenal. Let me know in the comments if you have any memories of these championship belts. Like I said, I got a lot of fun memories watching them on TV, watching a lot of different guys wear these. And they were the secondary titles to the NWA and WCW World Tag Team Championships for quite a while. If you could support yourself and show yourself as the champion wearing these, you usually get bumped up to the world title. Having said all that, this has been ALW Collectibles. I hope you're having a good day. I'll be back soon with more toy reviews and more belt reviews. I want to say thank you to all my channel subscribers and members. I appreciate it very much. I'm going to keep trucking along. And you all have a good one.